All right, guys, we have got some global news here. I would say that this is an expected turn of events. We have new quest mode stages coming for Global Dokkan, which are going to introduce the SSR for what will eventually become the LR BROLY and TRUNKS. I would argue a pretty fun free-to-play character. I mean, they're not going toe-to-toe with LR Future Gohan, but for a quest mode free-to-play LR, I would say they are pretty damn good and pretty fun. For, again, a quest mode LR, I think that this was fun. This is why it really brought back memories of why the version Z update I thought was going to be much better than it was. I thought that these Dragon Ball stories would all introduce free-to-play LRs that could be decent, like that version Z Goku. I mean, if you imagine if every Dragon Ball story gave us a free-to-play LR on the level of that version Z Goku when he first came out, oh my god, dude. How much better would the game be, right? Like, crazy. But this character is pretty solid, so... yep, the powerful enemies are coming after Trunks and them at Kame House, and then, Raditz shows up. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so global players, now they do quest mode stages, pretty frequently from here on out. Remember that every time they add new quest mode stages, there's a lot of stuff you can buy with blue incredible gems. So I would urge players to continue to grind out stage 31-4. Remember, I think for link leveling, if you use your 3 boosts per day on stage 31-4, you will be good to go with green incredible gems, blue incredible gems, and link levels. I promise that's all you got to do. You don't have to go further than that. So this is what comes out. Now, it was so funny. I remember theorizing, what could this guy be? Because his only category was time travelers. So it's like, okay, it's definitely not like a Trunks by himself, right? It's definitely not like a Trunks and a Goku or something like that. Because, you could tell because they just had, no categories together, right? No Defender of Justice. What could it be? And then eventually it ends up being Trunks and Broly. So all Global is going to get with this first update is just going to be the SSR Trunks right here. I mean, he is certainly a complete zero. He's worthless. But, I mean, he's just like an SSR. Now, it was 2 months later that Trunks and Broly got their TUR. Because if we take a look here, right, remember, this was pre-worldwide download celebration when this guy dropped. And then, obviously, after the worldwide download celebration, we got back into the Broly and Trunks. So I will say this, I do not believe it's going to be 2 months until the TUR, and then another 2 months after that until the LR for Global. Because, I mean, that would mean they would be getting the TUR with the Gohan and Piccolo celebration, potentially. And then the LR in, May? I don't know if I see that. To me, it seems potentially realistic if, Global would get this every month instead. So I think that the Trunks will come out right here, essentially with the Super Trunks celebration. I think we could see the part 2 with the Broly and Trunks. By the way, along with this character, there are stages that you can grind that gives very powerful equips for Broly and Trunks. I'm trying to think of what the easiest way to look that up is. I guess my own tweets or my own video, I guess we could pull up. We could take a quick look at that. But again, along with the TUR, you get the movie of what eventually is the LR's active skill right there. That movie plays in quest mode, and you can grind up the special equips for them. So that, I think, will come at the start of February, likely, hopefully, with TOP Android 17 and 18. And then I bet that the LR right here, the LR Broly and Trunks, my best guess is that they would show up at the start of March with the Gohan and Piccolo celebration. Remember that the Gohan and Piccolo celebration, that is always, for JP, it's simply the worst celebration of the year, that kind of Halloween one. And then it always slides in perfectly for Global to just jump in right there at the start of March, right? Okay, what do we got right here? This is, okay. I kind of want to pull up these equips, and then we could kind of talk about that, and then we could talk about the actual LR Broly and Trunks here. Alright guys, here we go. So, I was able to just pull up my own showcase here. The Broly and Trunks showcase from about a month ago. 110 people were really excited for this Broly and Trunks. Okay, so this is my box sorted by defense. So obviously, I mean, things can be different, you know, if you have like actual like defensive equips on characters and stuff like that. Uh, in my box, LR, Broly, and Trunks have the 5th highest defense stat. Look how many of these characters are like this year or very recent, by the way. Like half of this list is actually super, super recent. So if we jump over here and look, here, let me go ahead and full screen it. So there's these huge, powerful equips that you can grind up for Broly and Trunks that give them just monstrous stats. I mean, you could take a look at their attack and their defense right there, this number, and you could just see how much stats you're getting from these equips, right? It really can make, I think, quite a sizable difference for this Broly and Trunks to be able to grind up these big equips. The drop rates for these are very bad. I remember it, like, grinding this for, like, hours, I think. Like the drop rates were terrible, because there's a huge amount, right? Like, the drop pool, like, there's a lot of them. And you know, there's, I think there's, like, a level 4 attack and defense for, like, silver and gold and stuff like that. So, I mean, but it's worth it. I think it does help make them quite a bit more effective when you actually do go ahead and grab those equips. So, I mean, we don't need to spend time talking about the SSR or the TR. We can just jump straight to the LR. So, the LR, right? I mean, they're okay. I mean, they certainly do have some flaws in the way they're designed, right? So, the big thing with them is that they launch their 2 additionals, each of which only has a 30% chance to be a super attack, though, right? And then you combo that with them getting 31% attack and defense and 8% damage reduction with the same turn per super attack performs. So if they quad super, which they can, if you get a quad super from them, defensively for a free-to-play LR, they should be pretty solid. Like they wouldn't be like really too bad or anything like that. But I mean, you guys know, like, I maybe it's just me that I have the worst luck ever when it comes to additionals and stuff like that. But if you're getting additional normals, really hurts with this character a lot. Keep in mind that they also do just have a high chance to crit, by the way, which is really nice right there. And then one thing I've found that really, like, when I was running this character, like, I'm running them on, like, a Power Wishes setup, because remember, this is a character that is on Power Wishes, right? Power Wishes, they're on Entrusted Will as well, which could maybe help for that Fusion Zamasu mission, right? Which could be tough for the Gods Immortals event for some players. That's pretty good. They're on a bunch of these kind of like Power Wishes and Entrusted Will, Connected Hope. That's nice. Full Power as well. You know, these are categories that could always use more options. But kind of the sleeper ability for this character is, remember, they are a Rainbow Orb Changer. Rainbow Orb changing is just, it is just it's so big. So many characters these days have these orb restrictions, or they're a big key hungry LR, like LR Beast Gohan or something like that. Like these characters want key, and Broly and Trunks dropping this is very helpful. Now, they also do want Rainbow Key Spheres, of course, but I mean, I'll say this, they're just getting attack from the Rainbow Key Spheres. So it's like, you know, they create the Rainbow Key Spheres, and, you know, we funnel it right over to God Goku, right over to Bulma, right over to the 8th Anniversary LRs, right over to Beast Gohan or something like that, right? Like, you give all that key to them, more so than this character. Rainbow Orb, being a Rainbow Orb Changer, just, it means that they're positively impacting the team, even without, you know, tanking attacks or doing damage or something like that. It's great. Support characters like that are a must run. Now, their Rainbow Orb changing is a bit quirky here. So notice they'll change one key sphere of a certain type to Rainbow if they're the first or third attacker at the start of turn. And it literally operates exactly like it says. If they are in slot 2, like when the turn starts, they will not Rainbow Orb change. Typically, I've found that it is not a problem, because if you're running this character, you're running them in slot 2 or 3 anyway, which means on the next turn, they start out one spot later, which means they'd either start out in slot 3 or they'd start out in slot 1. The only issue you will encounter is if you put them in slot 1. then on the next turn they'll start in slot 2, and thus they wouldn't Rainbow Orb change. But you guys, I mean, the very first time they show up, it's possible they start out as the second attacker in the first turn, and you won't Rainbow Orb change. Of course, I've had that happen to me many times, because I'm somehow the most unlucky Dokkan player ever. But I find this to be a fairly effective free-to-play LR. Now, when you get their active off, I mean, you guys could see this number. This shit, remember, active, like, people to this day still don't understand how big this number actually is, as, like, from, you know, the numbers from active skills and the numbers from support memories. Like they don't understand how monstrous it is. Does it explain it here? No, it's just talking about their additional supers, but like when you pop this, I think I could probably, when you pop this, they're doing like 17 million attack stats and stuff like that, right? Like it's really big damage. All right, here we go. Here's an example of what LR, Broly, and Trunks look like. Forgive Twitter and their shitty quality, but you see that 18 million right there. Like, this is what LR, Broly, and Trunks can look like. You get a nice, strong, active skill turn from them. This is a quest mode LR. You guys know I can be very tough on, you know, characters' kits. You know, they're not filling out the holes in the Mickey Mouse checklist or anything like that. But, I mean, and then they're double-digit tanking. This boss, after they super too, remember, they get a big attack buff after they super. And they were still double-digit tanking that. Even me, as harsh as I am typically on characters like this, as a quest mode LR, to have that level of performance is pretty big. And they're Rainbow Orb changing, they're decent. This is I think this is an exciting thing to come. Hopefully Dokkan gives us more of this, like quirky thing. They're actually good. They're very easy to get too. You only need to it's green Incredible Gems. It's like 1,000 green Incredible Gems, something like that, to awaken them to LR. It's nothing. So, let me know what you guys think of LR, Broly, and Trunks. I mean, starting to come. Their LR will be here sooner rather than later, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.